Okay, this video is going to show you how to constrain your parts or join them together. Think of a constraint kind of like glue, basically limiting the degrees of freedom, the movements of freedom. We're going to restrict it in all three dimensions in the assembly of our big joint house. So we've brought all our parts into an IAM assembly file. Mine is called the big joint house or BJH assembly. We have this saved in the same folder all of our parts are saved in. And now what we have to do is lock them into one of these parts. So I'm going to use part C as my grounded part. It's important that one of your parts is grounded. And so look over here at part C and look, see if there's a thumbtack. This one does not have a thumbtack on it. And so I'm going to right click on my mouse and find grounded and make sure that check mark is turned on. Now you'll see that little thumbtack that I'm speaking of. That means this part cannot move. Everything is going to be moved relative to my part C. Doesn't matter what I do, part C is grounded and nothing can move. So to do a constraint, you use the constrain tool here. I'm going to start out with part G there. We're going to do a mate on this surface right here. And it's like putting glue on that surface. And I'm going to mate that to that surface right there. I'll click apply. Okay, I'm just going to use a view cube to reposition things. So that's my first mate, but you can see I can still move this around. I still need to ground this or restrict this down into the other two axes. So I'll use constraint again. I'll use a mate constraint, and I will mate this surface to, and you can again kind of think of it like glue, to that surface right there. So that's been mated. I'm going to hit apply. Now I'll use a flush, and I'll flush this face and this face. Since they're both 3/4 inch parts, that should line up. Now, did I hit apply there? We're going to do that again. Constrain. We'll do flush, and flush that, and hit apply. Okay. Now this part will not move at all. It is fully constrained. These are those three constraints that were placed upon those parts. Okay, so either part G or part C, and I can see those constraints. If you need to remove a constraint or delete a constraint, the easiest thing to do is to right click on that constraint and then hit delete, and it will go away and you can start over again. Okay, so that's constraining our first part in. We're going to repeat the process with all of our other parts. Okay, so let's look at parts E and F. Parts E and F are our, I'm going to spin this around, there are parts that have our holes in it. And let's take a look, find out where she is. There's one, here's the other one, and I'm going to look here at an angle. So this one is oriented the right way, the hole's facing the right way. We're going to start with that one. Do the same thing. Again, kind of think of it like glue. Where are you putting glue on your part? And that's going to go into, oops, wrong corner there. That's going to go into that face right there. And we do apply. Now look at this way. I can use two flushes. We're going to flush this face and hit apply. And then I'm going to flip this and flush this face and hit apply. That's been constrained into its location. I need to do the other one, but if you notice, this one, the hole is facing this way. No need to rotate the part. We can rotate the part through our constraints. So first thing I'm going to do is put a mate constraint. I'm going to mate that and that face. So they've been mated. It is facing the wrong way. No worries. Let's do a flush constraint, and let's flush this face on the opposite side with that part right there. So that's been flushed. Now watch what happens if I rotate this back around. You will see that the hole has been flipped around there. So we'll do a final flush. Let's do an end flush there. We could also do a mate. We're going to end flush this face, and we're going to hit apply. And that part should be fully locked in. So parts E and F are there. Parts E and F have holes in them, so we're going to put the dowels in those holes, also using constraints. This time an insert constraint. So we're going to take insert, okay, and we're going to take that dowel, select the end of that circle. Now I want to go to the back of the hole, and hit apply. I'll do the same thing with the other dowel. I'm going to select that circle there, and I need to go to the back of the hole. So pivot this guy, I want to go to the back end of this hole. Right there. Whoops. I'm going to cancel that guy and do it again. Constraint, insert, and again, I guess I can select the back of the hole here, and then I can go get my dowel and select that side of the dowel, and that dowel would have gone into position. So I hit apply there. We'll use the same type of constraint on part D. So I want to do an insert constraint there. Going to go to the back of the hole, okay, and we're going to go to the front end of the dowel here, okay, and apply. I technically don't have to do the other one over there. In fact, I'm not going to. Instead, I'm just going to add a flush constraint, and we will flush this face and this face, and then that way this part won't spin around. You don't have to add constraints. Once you got them assembled and in position, now this guy really won't move because of those two insert constraints and the flush constraint. So the final constraint, final parts that we have to work with and constrain into place are our angled pieces. So this is part A. Now, both of them are facing in funny directions. That is okay. We're going to do a mate constraint with that surface. And, oops, looking at the wrong way. Look at the bottom right there. And so when we look at this, you'll notice that it's going the wrong way. Don't worry about that because your flush constraint will fix that. So you're going to flush this face with the back side. Rotate it around. Flush it with this part of C. Okay, and that flips it. Even though it's not on your part, it's still in position. Notice this. You can actually move this thing around, so we do need one more constraint placed on it, and we're going to do an edge constraint with the end there. So let me look at it from this direction. We're going to take constrain, and we're going to, sorry about the compressor there, constrain and constrain that part there just by hitting apply. Okay, and our final constraint that we'll place on here is a mate constraint. Same way, I'm going to take that surface and mate it with this surface. I'm going to hit apply, okay, and I will flush this face with this face, and we'll hit apply, and we'll do our last mate constraint. Mate, and I'm going to do an edge and an edge, and I'll hit apply. Now, all my parts, I know they're fully constrained if I can't move them. So I click on here, none of them are moving. They don't move. I've been fully constrained. I am now ready to put this into, and let's click on our little house here, bring it into view. I'm ready to save this assembly and put it into a layout. So we'll save, and we will go to a new layout file.